Have you ever caught your cat staring at you and wondered what was going through their mind? Maybe they're judging your outfit. Maybe they're wondering why you're late with dinner. Or maybe they see you as nothing more than the person who fills their food bowl. But according to scientists who study feline behavior, none of those answers are quite right. Your cat doesn't look at you and think, "That's a human." Instead, they place you into their own social world in a way that's both surprising and incredibly heartwarming. And once you understand how your cat truly sees you, you'll start noticing little behaviors that suddenly make perfect sense. Some of those behaviors are actually signs of trust that many owners completely overlook. And by the end of this video, you'll discover why your cat may think of you as something far more important than just an owner. Let's begin. The first thing to understand is that your cat doesn't organize the world the way we do. Humans naturally separate animals into categories. We know the difference between people, dogs, birds, and cats. Cats don't think like that. Instead of asking, "Is this creature human?" they seem to focus on a much simpler question. Is this someone I can live with safely? Researchers who have spent decades observing domestic cats have found that many of the social behaviors cats use with humans are nearly identical to the ones they use with other friendly cats. Think about what your cat does every day. They rub against your legs. They greet you with their tail held high. They slowly blink at you from across the room. Sometimes they'll even groom your hand or your hair. These aren't random habits. They're the same social signals cats use to build relationships with members of their own trusted group. In your cat's eyes, you're not a completely different kind of creature. You're simply part of their family. A very large, very unusual family member, but family nonetheless. And that leads to something many owners misunderstand. When your cat ignores you after you've been gone for hours, it doesn't necessarily mean they don't care. Cats simply express affection differently. Their trust is usually quiet, subtle, and easy to miss if you don't know what to look for. But one particular behavior reveals something even more fascinating. Have you ever had your cat proudly drop a toy, or even worse, a mouse, right at your feet? Most people assume it's just a strange habit. In reality, it may be one of the strongest compliments your cat can give you. In the wild, mother cats teach their kittens how to hunt by bringing prey back to the nest. At first, it's already dead. Later, it may still be alive, giving the kittens a chance to practice catching it themselves. Domestic cats still carry those instincts. If your indoor cat constantly brings you toys and waits expectantly, they may be inviting you to participate in that natural behavior. It's less about giving you a gift and more about sharing an important activity with someone they trust. Some behavior experts believe this is part of your cat's instinct to include you in their social world. Others think it's simply a request to play together. Either way, one thing is clear. Your cat chose you. Out of everyone in the house, they decided you were worth interacting with. That's a pretty special relationship. Now, here's something that surprises almost everyone. Your cat probably doesn't recognize your face the way you recognize theirs. Human beings rely heavily on facial recognition. Cats don't. Their vision is designed for an entirely different purpose. Cats are incredible at detecting movement, especially in dim light. A tiny twitch in the grass, a fluttering insect, even the slightest movement across the room instantly grabs their attention. But fine details aren't nearly as important. That's why your cat depends much more on scent, sound, and movement than facial features. Long before you speak, they already know you're home from the sound of your footsteps. Before you pet them, they've identified your scent. Even the rhythm of the way you walk helps your cat recognize you. To them, you're not just a face. You're an entire collection of familiar signals that together create one comforting presence. And speaking of communication, have you ever noticed that your cat seems to have dozens of different meows? That's because many of them do. Here's something fascinating. Adult cats rarely spend much time meowing at one another. Instead, they communicate through body posture, ear position, tail movements, scent, and eye contact. So, why do they meow so much at us? Because they discovered something remarkable. Humans aren't very good at reading cat body language. We miss the subtle tail flicks. We ignore the slow blinks. We overlook tiny changes in posture. So over generations, domestic cats adapted. They learned that vocal sounds get our attention much faster. Many cats even develop unique meows for different situations. One sound for food, another for greeting you, another when they want the door opened. Some owners can actually tell exactly what their cat wants simply by hearing a specific meow. In a way, your cat has built a language that exists only between the two of you. That's not coincidence. That's communication shaped by living alongside humans for thousands of years. But perhaps the most amazing discovery comes from scientific studies on attachment. For many years, people believed cats were mostly independent animals that didn't form deep emotional bonds. Recent research has challenged that idea. In one well-known study, researchers observed how cats reacted when separated from, and then reunited with, their owners in an unfamiliar room. Many of the cats showed signs of stress while their person was absent. But when that familiar person returned, they relaxed, explored more confidently, and settled down much faster. Researchers described many of these cats as having what's known as a secure attachment. In simple terms, your presence helps your cat feel safe. That doesn't mean every cat expresses love the same way. Some are incredibly affectionate. Others prefer sitting quietly nearby instead of climbing into your lap. Some follow you from room to room. Others simply sleep peacefully knowing you're close. Cats have different personalities, just like people. But the common thread is trust. And trust is something cats never give away easily. It's earned, little by little, day after day. Every gentle interaction, every predictable routine, every meal you serve, every quiet moment you spend together. All of those experiences slowly build the bond your cat has with you. So, what are you to your cat? You're probably not a human in the way you imagine. You're not a manager. You're not a boss. You're not simply the person who opens cans of food. You're a familiar part of their world, a trusted companion, a source of safety, someone whose scent, voice, and daily presence tell them everything is normal. And perhaps that's the greatest compliment any cat can give. Because trust doesn't come naturally to cats. It's something they choose. So, the next time your cat slowly blinks at you, brushes against your legs, or curls up nearby without asking for anything,
Like and subscribe to share your cat's favorite way of saying, I love you.
They're your cat's quiet way of saying,
I love you.
You're one of us. And in the language of cats, there may be no greater expression of love than that.